When Jerry was approached to score LA Confidential, he and I were just getting ready to leave for a recording trip to Scotland that was just a few weeks away. The problem was that if he was going to score the film, he would have to begin immediately. But we were too close to the recording dates in Glasgow to cancel the sessions, and Jerry knew that. He called and asked if there was any way I could get someone else to fill in for his time with the Royal Scottish National Orchestra and allow him to score LA Confidential, which he really wanted to do. With the help of my good friend and Jerry's agent, Richard Kraft, we ended up putting together the greatest backup plan of all time. Elmer Bernstein was going to be in Warwick, England at the time the recordings were scheduled. He would be close enough to drive to the sessions. So in place of Jerry Goldsmith conducting Patton, I was recording To Kill a Mockingbird with Elmer Bernstein. Jerry and I ended up recording Patton, Tora Tora Tora, and The Sand Pebbles about 6 months later. Plus we got the score for LA Confidential as a bonus for all that quick maneuvering. Director Curtis Hanson described working with Jerry in his liner notes for the soundtrack of LA Confidential. To me, it's all about storytelling. Jerry Goldsmith uses his musical gifts to help tell the story better than almost any other film composer. I know this as a fan and as a collaborator. With LA Confidential, I presented Jerry with a unique challenge. I had already selected a dozen songs heard in the movie. I had not only picked them to evoke the time period in which the story takes place, but I was also using them to help delineate the themes of the movie and the individual characters. The songs were used in the film as both score and source music. That left Jerry with the task of weaving it all together, creating a musical whole. At the same time, I wanted him to heighten the emotions of the characters, underscore the action, and help move the story along. My hope was that he would be able to create a musical identity for the picture that had a timeless feel, an identity that was not rooted in the decade in which the story takes place. I wanted the audience to be able to forget they were watching a period movie, to get involved with the characters and their emotions without the lens of nostalgia getting in the way. In other words, I wanted Jerry to perform one of his musical miracles. But how to begin? One of the recurring elements in the songs I had chosen was the trumpet playing of Chet Baker and Bobby Hackett. Jerry extended this motif, taking the trumpet and featuring it in his score. The result is that the songs are tied to the score and tied to each other in a way they hadn't been before. Seems simple. But then Jerry took the trumpet and the other instruments and used them to subtly enhance emotion, add tension, improve performances. He took a scene I was dissatisfied with and made it seem perfectly wonderful. In short, he allowed the movie to be bigger and better than the sum of its parts. I don't understand how Jerry Goldsmith does what he does any more than I understand how the best actors do what they do. I know the basic mechanics and some of the technique, but at a certain point it becomes magic. Collaborating with magicians is the most rewarding part of directing. I love being on the scoring stage when Jerry conducts the musicians, bringing his music to life. Most observers think he has a baton in his hand, but I know it's a wand.